Good morning, everybody. We are in the third day of informative activities at Transilvania University of Brașov. The last day, the last one. And today also, as you know, is Romanian National Day. And thank you all my colleagues that are here with me. And happy birthday. I don't know how to say it, or how do I say
happy birthday?
Yes, happy birthday is not such a good term. Gabi, please help me.
I think it's Happy National Day.
It's wonderful. So today we are going to discuss about detailed form of psychological support, and after a short break we are going to talk about psychological and academic counseling of students with a disability. At the end we have question and answer session prepared, and also we have a surprise, a short movie you are going to see that me and Florin made it especially for this event. And I would like to thank especially Indira for centralizing some of your requests and interests. And both Daciana and me, we have modified or upgraded the presentation. Yes, upgraded to better respond to your interest. It gives me great pleasure to introduce my colleague, Associate Professor Daciana Lupu from our faculty, Psychology and Science of Education, who was also my teacher. And I think she was, I was thinking about this last night. I think she was one of the most beloved teacher when I was a student. Not only a good pedagogue, but also a psychologist with a lot of experience in the field, which started to be a psychology before she came to the university environment. So, Daciana, the floor is yours.
Mulțumesc mult, Dana, m-a emoționat și încep așa cu niște emoții pozitive. Mulțumesc mult!
With my great pleasure.
Astăzi, așa cum Dana v-a făcut prezentarea în introducere, o să vă vorbesc despre activitatea Centrului de Informare și Consiliere și Orientarea Carierei, care, așa cum v-a spus... Stop! Gabi, traduci?
When you take a break, yes. Ok.
Deci,
când faci tu pauză, Daci, atunci traduc.
Da? O să vorbesc despre Centrul de Informare și Consiliere și Orientarea Carierei, care se ocupă cu două mari activități. Dana, poți să pui slide-ul următor. Două mari activități.
Okay, so Associated Professor Daciana Lupu is going to talk today about the Center of Career Counseling, which is the Center for Information Counseling and Career Guidance, which is the complete title of the center.
Care se ocupă de autocunoaștere și evaluare psihologică și de consiliere și informare pentru carieră.
As you see, it concerns with self-awareness and psychological and evaluation, counseling and guidance for a career.
Colega noastră, Oana Bota, a vorbit ieri despre partea de consiliere și informare pentru carieră. Eu mă voi centra astăzi pe partea de autocunoaștere și evaluare psihologică.
So the lecturer Bota talked yesterday about the counseling and career guidance part of the center. Associate Professor Lupu is going to present you today the activities linked with the self-awareness and psychological evaluation.
O să încep prezentarea activității noastre vorbind despre segmentul țintă al nostru, despre cui ne adresăm Și atunci, dacă ne referim la cui ne adresăm studenților, masteranzilor, doctoranzilor.
So the center serves students, master students, PhD students, all of them being enrolled in at University of Transilvania in Brașov.
Mulțumesc! Cine suntem noi care ne ocupăm de partea aceasta de consiliere psihologică în centru? Suntem două persoane. Colega mea, Laura Elena Năstasă, care are o formare în psihoterapie experiențială.
So the two people dealing with this part of the activities of the center are Laura Elena Anastasa, psychotherapeutical training in experiential psychotherapy orientation.
Și subsemnata Daciana Lupu, care am o formare în psihoterapie adleriană.
And of course, Daciana Lupu, trained in psychotherapeutical, in Adlerian psychotherapy orientation.
Obiectivele urmărite de noi în activitate, primul dintre obiective ar fi organizarea și desfășurarea activităților de consiliere individuală și de consiliere de grup pe probleme personale, pe probleme educaționale și de management al carierei.
The objectives of this center is to organize and run counseling activities individually or in groups for personal and education problems, as well as career management.
Un al doilea obiectiv se adresează consilierii studenților cu cerințe educative speciale pentru a le facilita integrarea în universitate și ulterior în carieră.
But also counseling for students with special needs in order to facilitate their integration in academic field and then in their career.
Atribuțiile noastre pot spune că sunt împărțite pe atribuții ce țin de partea administrativă și atribuții specifice ce țin de activitatea de consiliere.
So we have attributes in admin part, but also in specific activities.
Acestea administrative ar fi sprijin în elaborarea planului anual de activitate al centrului, realizarea activităților specifice, comunicare cu conducerile facultăților și ale departamentelor.
The administrative part concerns with support in elaborating the annual center activity plan, performing specific activities for the center, communicating with the faculty management and with the department management.
Mai avem încă sarcini administrative ce țin de coordonarea activităților de mediatizare, de asigurarea sistemului de administrare a bazelor de date și de furnizarea datelor pentru întocmirea raportului anual al centrului.
As well as other attributes as coordinating media activities for the students, to popularize the personal development offers, to make sure that the center databases are safe, and to gather data for the annual report of the center.
Și ajungem și la atribuții ce țin de activitatea specifică și aici vorbim de pregătirea și realizarea activităților de psihodiagnoză la cererea studenților, de pregătirea, programarea și realizarea activităților de consiliere individuală, respectiv consiliere de grup, și pregătirea sesiunilor de informare, sesiuni de informare care le susținem la cererea studenților pe teme de interes pentru ei.
So our the center specific attributes include preparing and running psychodiagnosis activity on students' demand, preparing, programming, and running individual and group counseling activities, and preparing informing sessions also on students' demand.
Ce oferim? Oferim servicii de psihodiagnoză, oferim servicii de consiliere individuală, servicii de consiliere de grup și, bineînțeles, consilierea studenților cu cerințe educative speciale.
So the center is offering psychodiagnosis, individual and group counseling, and counseling students with special educational needs.
La acestea putem să adăugăm și sesiuni de informare pe diverse problematici de interes pentru studenți. Oferim și mini-traininguri pe probleme, de exemplu, inteligență emoțională, managementul emoțiilor, stimă de sine.
Okay, so besides these offerings, we have the center offers also informing sessions for the students, but also sessions for for emotions management or emotional intelligence for the students.
Ceea ce vreau să subliniez este că nu oferim servicii de psihoterapie. Deci ne limităm la partea de consiliere și nu facem și psihoterapie.
The center limits its activity to the counseling, but not psychotherapeutic services.
Dacă ați întrebat de ce, pentru că psihoterapia presupune o activitate de lungă durată, ori nu ne putem angaja la o asemenea activitate, pentru că noi, cele care oferim aceste servicii, o facem pro bono, voluntariat.
So the center doesn't offer psychotherapeutic services because it's a long-term activity, and besides that, the two ladies dealing with this part of the activities of the center is doing a pro bono work there, so they are volunteering.
Mai corect, dacă am intrat într-o terapie de durată, asta însemnând câteva luni, nu am putea răspunde cererilor punctuale pentru consiliere ale studenților, ale altor studenți. Am fost clară, Dana?
Because if they would engage in a therapy lasting several months, for example, they wouldn't be able in time terms to answer the other demands, specific demands from other students, because there are lots of them.
Acum ne vom opri la fiecare dintre activitățile realizate și voi oferi câteva explicații.
Mrs. Lupu is going to deal with each and every part, and she's going to explain every.
Primele dintre serviciile pe care le-am menționat sunt cele de psihodiagnoză. E bine, ne ocupăm de diagnoza proceselor cognitive de genul memorie, atenție, inteligență și, bineînțeles, la cererea studenților și servicii de diagnoză a personalității.
So for the first part, psychodiagnosis, they deal with cognitive process testing, memory, attention, intelligence. On demands of the students, also psychodiagnosis of personality.
Sunt acum 3 întrebări. Când, cui și cu ce?
Questions arising are when, with whom, and what.
Acum, când, la cererea studenților.
When is on students' demand.
Cui, studenților care ni se adresează.
With whom, it's with the students contacting the center.
Și cu ce? Cu instrumente care au licențe. Obligatoriu în România, serviciile de psihodiagnoză trebuie să se facă cu instrumente care au licență.
And with what? With instruments which are licensed in Romania.
Ajungem la a doua mare activitate, cea de consiliere individuală.
The second important activity is individual counseling.
Aici ne ocupăm de consiliere pe probleme educaționale.
So counseling on educational issues.
Ne adresăm studenților care nu reușesc să se obișnuiască cu sistemul academic.
The center addressed to students which are not having an easy time adjusting to the academic environment.
Studenților care nu se obișnuiesc cu această derulare a activităților cu secvențe de curs și seminar.
Students which are not adjusting easily with this sequencing between courses and seminars.
Studenților care nu se obișnuiesc cu examene doar în sesiune.
The students which are having troubles getting used to having exams only in examining sessions.
Facem cu ei acel management al învățării.
We are training them in learning management, studying management.
Pentru a se obișnui cu acest sistem de examene doar timp de o lună la final de semestru.
In order to get them used to this system of having 2 exam sessions every year.
Ne mai adresăm de asemenea studenților cu adaptare deficitară la cerințele academice.
The center also helps students with difficult adjustments to academic requirements.
Sau studenților care au un stil inadecvat sau defectuos în învățare.
Or to those ones which problematic learning.
O a doua activitate este cea de consiliere de sprijin pe probleme emoționale.
There is also support counseling for emotional problems.
Studenții care ni s-au adresat pe această problematică sunt studenți care au cerut sprijin după încetarea unei relații de regulă amoroase.
The students addressing the center on this issue are usually the ones after closing a usually love relationship.
Mulțumesc. Sau studenți care au neînțelegeri în familie.
Or students with family problems.
Mai rar cu prietenii sau colegii, de regulă cu familia și aici cu părinții.
Very rarely with colleagues or friends, more often with the family, especially parents.
Din ce în ce mai mulți studenți ni se adresează pe această a treia problematică, consiliere pentru autocunoaștere și dezvoltare personală.
More and more students are contacting the center regarding the counseling for self-awareness and self-improving.
Aici sunt studenți cu care s-au făcut activități de diagnoză pentru realizarea unui profil de personalitate sau unui profil de interese.
So here the center works with the students in order to achieve a profile, a psychodiagnosis profile, a personality one.
Scuze, principalele probleme pentru care ni s-au adresat.
The main issues they contacted the center for
sunt probleme ce țin de stima de sine.
Are problems including self-esteem.
Probleme ce țin de complexul de inferioritate.
Of inferiority complex.
Probleme de statut.
Status problems.
Ori probleme ce țin de raportare la lume și viață.
Or compare themselves to life and society.
O a patra problematică mare de care ne-am ocupat sunt problemele de gestionare a stresului, deci consiliere pe probleme de gestionare a stresului.
So in individual counseling, there is a counseling for stress management.
Aici sunt în general activități pe care le realizăm cu studenții pentru a-și face o planificare strictă pe orele zilei.
So the center works here with the students in order to achieve a strict planning, hourly planning of
De
every day.
asemenea, realizăm cu ei identificarea acelor, cum să zic, mâncători, devoratori de timp, activități inutile.
So ladies at the center work with the students also to identify the time eating issues, time consuming issues.
Cu studenții din anul întâi mai ales lucrăm pe managementul timpului pentru a împărți corect activitățile pe parcursul unei zile, mai ales din sesiune.
Counseling for better time management is a priority, especially for students in their first year of university.
Probleme ce țin de managementul timpului au și cei din anul 3, care sunt în dificultate de timp în a-și realiza lucrările de absolvire.
But time management is a problem also for students in their last year of university, the third year, before graduating with all the papers needing to be completed.
Da. Apoi avem problemele de gestionare a stresului, un alt domeniu mare.
Also a big field here is counseling for stress management.
Din nou aici sunt studenții de anul întâi care trebuie să se obișnuiască la sistemul academic și studenții de an terminal care intră în criză de timp pentru realizarea lucrărilor de licență.
Also targeted here are mostly the first year students and the last year students.
De asemenea, mai au fost studenți care ni s-au adresat pe probleme ce țin de managementul stresului din cauza volumului ridicat de materiale pe care le au de parcurs și nu știau cum să gestioneze volumul acesta mare.
There are students needing this stress management counseling because of the big volume of materials needing to be processed.
Și de aproape 2 ani avem studenți care ni se adresează din cauza stresului din această perioadă a pandemiei.
And also there are students affected by this pandemic time.
Chiar în acea perioadă de lockdown am sesizat că a crescut ușor numărul studenților care ni s-au adresat.
The number of students contacted the center was increasing slightly at the beginning of the lockdown period.
O altă categorie mare de probleme pentru care ni se adresează studenții sunt problemele de relaționare.
Another big activity is counseling for relationship problems.
Relaționare cu membrii familiei.
With family members.
Aici, de cele mai multe ori de cele mai multe ori avem o comunicare deficitară între ei și părinți.
Because of problematic communication between the students and their parents.
Apoi mai sunt probleme de relaționare cu colegii.
But also relationship between students and their colleagues.
Cu colegii, fie în formarea grupelor de lucru din activitățile didactice.
With colleagues either in working in teams.
Fie când este vorba să aleagă reprezentanții ai lor în diverse foruri.
Or when it comes to electing representatives in university organizations.
Și chiar recent a fost un student care avea probleme de relaționare cu persoanele cu statut superior. A se vedea aici decan, șef de departament, profesori.
They had a case of a student which has problems of relating to people with superior status, as in dean, professors, head of the department.
Și o altă problematică de care ne ocupăm este această consiliere de sprijin pentru depășirea situațiilor de criză.
The center deals also with counseling for managing crisis situations.
Ce a însemnat cazuistică referitoare la situații de criză pentru noi?
The case portfolio for the center in this activity include
Situații de criză produse de îmbolnăvirea gravă sau de decesul unei persoane din familie.
Crisis meaning someone in the family, close family, getting very ill or die.
Mai ales acum în perioada
Especially in this pandemic period of time.
Sau situații de criză produse de student care a dobândit o boală cronică.
Or a crisis meaning that a student getting seriously, chronically ill.
Aici mi-aduc aminte de studenți care dobândiseră diabetul, de o studentă care făcuse un atac vascular și o studentă care dobândise o scleroză multiplă.
They had cases of a student getting diabetes or another one being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Și un atac vascular, că e de zis la 19 ani.
VCR, is it? Or I think it's VCR at 19 of age, being a very serious and concerning problem.
Și am avut studenți care ni s-au adresat în această perioadă pandemică, contactând virusul respectiv și îmbolnăvindu-se.
But they also had students contacting the center after they got infected with COVID-19.
Acum, câteva cuvinte despre întâlnirile de consiliere cu studenții. În medie, o întâlnire este undeva între 40 și 50 de minute.
In regards with individual meetings with students, usually the duration is 40-50 minutes.
Cu posibilitatea de prelungire, dacă situația o cere, undeva la 10-20 de minute prelungire.
With possibility to add 10-20 minutes if the situation requires.
Dacă vorbim de perioada de acum 2 ani, când era o altă normalitate, locul de desfășurare era în cabinetul centrului.
If we talk about the activity, center activity 2 years ago, the meeting place was in a designated area room.
Acolo unde se putea realiza un climat cald, unde se putea realiza o atmosferă plăcută, propice desfășurării activității și stabilirii încrederii.
Where they could provide a good warm atmosphere and environment suitable for these meetings.
Toate întâlnirile sunt gratuite, nu se percepe nicio taxă pentru aceste întâlniri.
The students are not charged with any fee at all. All costs are being covered.
În continuare, tot despre întâlnirile cu studenții, urmăresc principiile umaniste.
Also about individual meetings with students, they are following humanist principles.
Se centrează pe sprijinul acordat studenților pentru ca ei să poată face față mai ușor problemelor vieții.
And are centered on the support the center is giving to students in order for them to cope with their daily life problems.
Și, bineînțeles, se asigură confidențialitatea.
And of course, the center guarantees privacy.
Toate întâlnirile se desfășoară ținând cont că trebuie să existe o acceptare necondiționată, să existe toleranță, empatie, sinceritate, respect, colaborare și, bineînțeles, responsabilitate.
So all these individual meetings are guided under these conditions you see on screen: unconditional acceptance, tolerance, empathy, sincerity, respect, collaboration, and responsibility.
Partea de consilieri de grup, îmi pare rău, nu ne ocupăm noi de partea de consiliere de grup. avem ca proiect de viitor să ne ocupăm și de această activitate? Da.
The group counseling activity comes to other colleagues, but there is a plan to deal with it in the future.
Visăm să putem angaja o persoană cu normă întreagă ca psiholog la acest centru de consiliere și atunci activitățile vor putea căpăta o altă calitate și ne vom putea ocupa de mai multe probleme ale studenților.
They are dreaming about hiring a full-time psychologist to the center, which would allow the center to address all more and more demands from students.
Și ajungem la una dintre problemele dragi nouă cu care ne ocupăm și anume consilierea studenților cu cerințe educative speciale.
This is a very close to their heart activity, counseling students with special educational needs.
Ce probleme sau ce situații am identificat noi și am consiliat? Am avut consiliere pe probleme de adaptare academică.
So between issues addressed by the center, there are counseling for problems regarding academic adaptation.
Aici mi-l amintesc pe Silviu, un student cu disgrafie, care a făcut atât ciclul de licență la psihopedagogie specială, cât și ciclul de master în resurse umane.
So with this academic adaptation, Mrs. Lupu remembers Silvio, which was our student for special psychopedagogy, but also human resources in education master program. He had dysgraphia.
Da, Silviu avea o disgrafie și în cazul lui s-au purtat discuții cu profesorii pentru ca studentul să poată susține toate examenele oral.
So for him, due to his dysgraphia problem, the center was contacting all his professors in university he had exams with, in order to have these exams orally, not in a written form.
Și de asemenea s-au purtat discuții și cu colegii pentru a înțelege dificultățile, a-l accepta și a-l sprijini atâta cât are el nevoie și nu mai mult.
But also they were contacting and talking with Silvio's colleagues in order to understand him and include him between them and accept him and help him at the right amount, just as much as he needed, not more.
Spun aceasta pentru că Silviu avea o comoditate foarte mare și nu odată profita de bunătatea colegilor din această comoditate.
Mrs. Lupu is underlining the help for as much as he needed, because Silvio was taking advantage of his problem in order to get more and more help, sometimes not needed.
Ne-am ocupat de asemenea de consiliere educațională.
The center was also dealing with educational counseling.
Aici mi-o amintesc pe Andreea, una dintre studentele noastre cu o deficiență gravă de vedere.
And one of the cases was Andrea with visual impairment, serious one.
În cazul ei s-au purtat discuții cu colegii pentru a o susține în activitățile de grup. Deci a ști cum să o susțină în activitățile de grup. Era o student, scuze.
Okay, the center was talking with her colleagues in order to support her within the group activities.
De asemenea, s-au purtat discuții cu colegii profesori pentru a o sprijini,
but also with the professors in order to support her.
mai concret pentru a-i pune la dispoziție materiale în format PDF.
In order to provide her with materials, learning materials in PDF form.
De ce format PDF? Pentru că ea avea un program prin care transforma documentele PDF în braille.
Because she had a program on her computer converting PDF in braille documents.
Multe discuții am purtat cu studenta pentru a-i putea înțelege nevoile și a o putea sprijini corespunzător.
There was a lot of talking with Andrea about her needs and requirements in order to be helped.
O altă problemă unde am sprijinit-o pe Andreea a fost în a îi intermedia diverse legături cu Biblioteca Națională din București pentru a-i pune la dispoziție materiale pentru lucrarea de licență.
Another help for Andrea was putting her in touch and keeping her in touch with the National Library in Bucharest in order to have access to materials for her graduation paper.
În același format PDF.
In the same PDF format to allow her to convert in braille.
Și am mai avut și consiliere pe probleme emoționale și relaționale.
Another activity was counseling for emotional and relational problems.
Aici o pot aduce pe Paula, care avea o parapareză.
And there was the case for Paula, a student with paraparesis.
Dar problemele ei țineau mai degrabă de neînțelegerile cu mama și cu iubitul.
But her problems were mainly due to her misunderstandings with her mother and her boyfriend.
Aici am făcut foarte multă foarte multă consiliere pentru autocunoaștere, pentru a o ajuta să relaționeze într-un mod eficient.
So there was a counseling especially for her self-awareness and to help her having better relationships.
Spuneam în partea de introducere a intervenției mele că o altă activitate de care ne ocupăm este activitatea de informare pe diverse probleme de interes pentru studenți.
Another part of the activities of the center is information on various issues of interest requested by students.
Practic, această activitate se desfășoară atât la nivelul centrului, dar mai corect și mai concret la nivelul centrelor de informare din facultăți.
So this activity is carried out at the center, but also at the level of information centers in faculties of the university.
Aici ne adresăm studenților sau masteranzilor care doresc să își aleagă o rută profesională potrivită.
So the center addresses students and master students that want to make a suitable, to design for themselves a suitable career.
Sau studenților masteranzilor și doctoranzilor din anii terminali care vizează angajarea.
Or to the bachelor students, master students or PhD students in terminal year that want to get a job.
De aceea spuneam că aici mai utile sunt centrele de consiliere și orientare din facultăți care cunosc mult mai bine planurile de învățământ și care pot să ofere o informare mult mai adecvată și chiar personalizată.
But here sometimes it's the centers in each and every faculty of the university, information centers are more useful because they are better aware of their studying plans during the studying years, so they can help them better.
Mulțumesc. O altă problemă, de fapt o una dintre ultimele probleme cu care ne mai ocupăm în centru sunt aceste mini-traininguri. Le-am numit mini-traininguri pentru că nu se întind pe un număr mare de ore, 8, 10, 12 ore, ci se limitează undeva la 3-4 ore.
There are also a series of mini trainings with the students, mini trainings because they don't have a lot of, they're not extended in time, they're only 3 meetings with possibility of extension.
Am derulat astfel de mini-traininguri pe probleme ce țin de stima de sine, de inteligența emoțională sau de managementul emoțiilor.
Mini trainings are usually held on self-esteem, emotional intelligence, or emotion management.
Cum spuneam înainte, sunt de regulă 3 întâlniri. Acum, dacă studenții doresc, putem să mărim numărul întâlnirilor.
So usually there are 3 meetings, but if the students require, they can get extended.
Durata este cam de 50-60 de minute și lucrăm cu grupuri cam de 10-12 studenți.
So they work with groups of 10-12 students on a duration of 50-60 minutes.
Pe final, aș vrea să vă prezint pe scurt mini-trainingul de dezvoltare a stimei de sine.
So next is a presentation of the mini training for regarding self-esteem.
În realizarea acestui training am pornit de la următoarele valori: respect și încredere în sine, aprecierea unicității fiecăruia, receptivitate la emoțiile celorlalți și valorizarea relațiilor interpersonale.
Dana,
următorul
slide. Okay, this is the presentation of the mini training for developing self-esteem, centered on values like trust on oneself and others, appreciating the unicity of everyone, responsiveness for others' emotions, and valorization of interpersonal relationships.
Mini-trainingul a urmărit 3 mari competențe: capacitatea de autocunoaștere pe dimensiunea personalitate, cea de-a doua, capacitatea de a se cunoaște pe sine și atitudinile pozitive față de propria persoană, și a treia competență, capacitatea de manifestare a unei stime de sine favorabile în relațiile cu sine și cu ceilalți.
So competencies followed were capacity of self-awareness in terms of oneself's personality, the capacity to understand oneself and her positive attitudes, and the capacity to manifest a favorable self-esteem in relations with oneself and others.
Competențele specifice pentru ceea ce înseamnă prima mare competență ar fi capacitatea de autoapreciere a personalității, capacitatea de autoanaliza caracterului, capacitatea de evaluare a propriului temperament, capacitatea de cunoaștere a aptitudinilor proprii.
Among specific competencies, their capacity to auto-appreciate oneself's personality, to analyze oneself's behavior, to evaluate oneself's temperament, and to acknowledge oneself's aptitudes.
Cea de-a doua competență a avut ca și competențe specifice capacitatea de a analiza imaginea de sine pe coordonatele fizic, emoțional și social, capacitatea de a evalua imaginea de sine și capacitatea de a-și proiecta imaginea de sine în cea ideală.
The competence B, the capacity to know oneself and have positive attitudes towards oneself, has as specific competencies the capacity to analyze the self-image through physical, social, and emotional coordinates, the capacity to evaluate the self-image, the capacity to project the self-image through the ideal one.
Competențele specifice pentru cea de-a treia mare competență au fost capacitatea de evaluare a nivelului stimei de sine, capacitatea de identificare a domeniilor de acțiunile a stimei de sine și capacitatea de a valoriza pozitiv modalitățile de dezvoltare a stimei de sine.
So for the capacity to manifest a favorable self-esteem in relation with oneself and others, they follow specific competencies as capacity to evaluate the personal level of self-esteem, to identify domains of action for self-esteem, and to value the ways of developing the self-esteem.
3 mari teme, deci 3 mari conținuturi am vizat: autocunoaștere, imagine de sine și stimă de sine.
There were targeted 3 main themes or contents: self-discovery, self-image, and self-esteem.
Pe final, abordăm și problema relației cu studenții, mai concret, cum ne contactează studenții. E bine, datele de contact ale centrului, așa cum vă spunea și colega noastră Oana Bota ieri, sunt pe site-ul universității. Studenții găsesc adresa de mail.
So, in regards with how the students can contact us, the center has all the contact details on the site of the university site, so they can write an email and they'll be given an answer based on their problem.
Ei primesc la mailul trimis un răspuns când și cui se vor adresa.
So they are given information about to whom and when to address further.
În urmă cu 2 ani, ei se puteau adresa direct persoanelor care se ocupau de activitatea centrului, fiind contactele telefonice pe site.
2 years ago, they could contact directly the persons in charge within the center because they had also phone numbers at their disposal.
De 2 ani, de când cu această pandemie, activitățile de consiliere se realizează online cu ajutorul platformei e-learning a universității.
But since last year, all the counseling activities are online on one of the university's platforms, internet platforms, e-learning.
Pe platformă, consilierii au camere virtuale unde se întâlnesc cu studenții în ziua și la ora stabilită.
So on this e-learning platform, the counselors have rooms, virtual rooms, where they meet at the agreed time with the students.
Această întâlnire în camere virtuale este cu avantaje și cu dezavantaje. Dacă ar fi să mă întrebați, din punctul de vedere al studenților, i-am văzut mai liberi. Ei se simt mai bine în această variantă de a intra online. Ei bine, din punctul nostru de vedere, lucrurile nu mai sunt cu avantaje. Bine, singurul avantaj ar fi că sunt acasă în fața laptopului și nu mă deplasez, dar nu văd non-verbalul persoanei, da.
Ok.
Dana, vrei să intervii?
Okay.
Deci, I was leaving Gabriela to intervene.
Scuze.
Alo. Și pe mine să ascult. Professor Lupu was telling about these virtual meetings, that they come with pros and cons, of course, with advantages and disadvantages. The advantages being that the students seem to be more comfortable with virtual meetings, with these virtual rooms. They are more at ease with the meeting, while for the professors is not all the time the case, apart from, being more comfortable, being home in front of your laptop, not going to the center physically. But
din punctul nostru de vedere, nu este tocmai bine, pentru că ne lipsește partea de non-verbal.
But from the counselor point of view, there is the non-verbal part that's missing.
Ne lipsesc diversele poziții ale mâinilor, ale corpului, ale picioarelui. Ne lipsește acordul acesta între verbal și non-verbal.
So they miss placements of hands, of head, of feet, the accord, I think,
Da.
between the verbal and non-verbal component.
Mie personal mi-a fost greu să lucrez doar cu verbalul și cu paraverbalul și doar cu mimica.
Mrs. Lupo found it difficult to work only with the verbal component and paraverbal component, and also only with the mimic of the students.
Am simțit tot timpul că ceva nu este întreg, dar decât nimic a fost mai bine și așa.
But it was better than nothing.
Acestea fiind spuse, vă mulțumesc mult pentru atenția acordată și dacă sunt întrebări, cu drag le dau curs.
Professor Lupo, thank you, and of course is waiting for your questions.
Thank you, Daciana. Thank you so much.
With pleasure.
So nobody's daring to ask a question, or
Not now?
No, I think Daci covered all the areas. No, everybody's writing, so let's wait a little bit. Nino Kentavan is writing.
Dana, poți să-mi spui ce scrie, că nu, stai să văd și eu.
Yes, I will tell you.
Nu,
But
acum
they are still writing.
așteptăm.
Yes. So Nana said, thank you for your comprehensive presentation, which is wonderful. Ketevan also, it was very interesting, and she thanks you. But anyway, don't worry if you don't have any specific question right now in your mind. Don't forget that we have a session of question and answering at the end.
Scrie lumea.
Yes, the people are writing still, and I'm waiting. Nino said that thanks a lot. I think this information will be very useful for our center. Wonderful.
Sunt ceva întrebări din zilele precedente, Dana, la care putem răspunde? Sau
from the no, I think not, because you covered everything, Daciana, so there are not any questions. Yes, and you covered all the questions they had, and some of them that you didn't cover is already in my presentation that follows yours. So it will be wonderful. So there are some issues, but I have it in my presentation as well. Ketevan says also, thank you. If you still have questions for our colleague, or you think about, we are here, she's not going to leave the meeting, and maybe if later you want to ask, it's possible. But if you already observed, yes, we have specific areas where we are doing things. So it's easier for us to split like this, because anyway, it's a voluntary activity in what we are doing here in center, not only us, our students volunteer, and it's easier for us to deal with all this. But if you have a specific question, for example, for one or for other colleagues, I will send them the question and they will answer as well. So if the things are clear, I propose a short break. I see Florin is here also.
Yes. Good morning.
Good
How many
morning.
minutes? 8 minutes break, it's okay?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, in this case, I will make a mix. So it will be, you'll see if we'll have some rock music later, but also you will be in the biggest church from Brașov. It's a black church. It's in a, this is a, we'll have an organ concert from here.
Yes.
It was exactly 1 week ago, this concert that I will play now. If you give me the sharing rights.
Yes. Can you hear me, Florin? Because I don't see you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because now I'm loading my presentation.
Okay, so
and
please.
After this, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Test
Now I'm
your
loading.
load your presentation, test it, and then.
Yes. Yes.
Some music.
Just one moment. I think it's a very long presentation. Anyway, yes, everything is okay. So now you are going to be the presenter, and the next.
And move it to the next slide just to test it.
I'm sure it's working. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you can make me presenter.
Yes. I will make you presenter, and I'm so glad that Anca Vasilescu, my colleague, is here. I will present it to you later. She's going to help me in my presentation in a certain point because she's the expert in that area. So the floor is yours, Florin.
So 8 minutes. Okay, so Dana, it was an introduction for the presentation, combining music therapy with rock.
Yes, it was magnificent. I hope my presentation will be like the presentation you made me. This one. So everybody's ready now? Can we continue? Should we start? Yes. I suppose that one is yes in Georgian. Good, good. Thank you so much. So I will start now. The Career Counseling and Guidance Center from Transilvania University of Brașov, it's like a department of psychopedagogical assistance to overcome various difficulties encountered by students. The coordination of requests from students with disabilities within the network is ensured by me, but as a first point of contact. As you have seen before, if it's a matter of individual counseling, I will send them to Daciana, for example, as she presented before me. The coordination, the services we are offered, as you can see here, are requesting and providing assistive devices, compensation for disadvantages in terms of study and examination results, advice for students on finance, study arrangements, and examination. We have also peer counseling. Students volunteer from our special psychopedagogy study programs. Of course, creation of barrier-free teaching materials, psychopedagogical assistance for teachers, counseling students with disabilities for employment, psychosocial counseling, appropriate choice of study programs and successful completion of studies, and support in case of doubts and problems during studies. And I will try to say a few words about all of this. As you can see here, what we offer to typical students, we also offer to students with disabilities. Those I'm not offering all these services, but each a member of our team, coordinated by Oana Alina Bota, that you listened yesterday, is specialized in a segment that she or he is particularly involved in. In some cases, there is no need for a person with trained disability skills, let's say. These students can join their peers on some common topic of interest. And this is even better because it facilitates the formation of new relationships, new friendships. Why not? And we know very well how important it is to have friends. But because Transilvania University of Brașov aims to be an inclusive environment, and because we have observed from current practice that is in our culture, our Romanian culture, not to ask for help when it's needed, because it's considered to be a sign of weakness, often accompanied by shame. We have thought of a situation where we can drop the multiple label that we use as specialists, but in the same time, solving the problem we are aware that exists. And for example, I will present you, let's say, therefore, there are some projects that we have implemented in the university that address a wide range of difficulties. Not only those generated by individual factors, but also those originated in socio-cultural factors. We have therefore addressed the broad category of special educational needs. I will not now talk about the results of this project applied to our faculty. Of course, similar projects were carried out in other faculties of our university, where the dropout rate was higher. This project is dedicated exclusively to the first-year students. And we consider this project appropriate because not all higher school pupils who become our students are really ready to enter the world of university studies. So what we propose: involvement in academic life, adapting to the university environment, personal and professional development, development of career management skills. So what else? As all of us mentioned before, in some moments, Oana, in others, Tatiana, we offer workshops for personal development, effective learning strategies, developing motivation for learning, which is also an important part, time management and priority setting, effective communication and conflict management, because this is a main issues for them, and managing emotion, because we have a lot of requests on this area. What I forgot to tell you, that in all these images you are going to see our students. They attended a lot of our activities, and we have their agreement to put their pictures here. And here inside of this image also you can see one of you see my mouse moving here. No? Okay, good. So here it's a professor from our faculty, very involved in community issues, and she is dealing with a lot of other projects. But you can see this is before pandemic, of course. This is why we don't wear masks, and it's such a crowded place. But I think this image is taken by some meetings with specialists, and especially we try to use as much as possible our graduates, because they represent our success recipe. And of course, we organize a lot of visits to companies and organizations as well. You heard us a lot since the first day we started about Professor Clinciu, a person that we admire a lot. And here is him. Of course, his face is hidden because he knew we have to take some pictures from that activity. But in these pictures, we represent an advisory activity where the student receive a personalized personality profile. Here, in this image, I'm very, very proud because they are my students from special psychopedagogy. I think these pictures was taken when they were in the second year. And why I'm proud about, because together with some other colleagues from the university, we started this march, this campaign to raise awareness for autism, for example. And what I wanted to emphasize is that we involve them in a lot of extracurricular activities. And of course, I put it here, Christmas party, because it's quite an event in our faculty, and not only in our faculty. And of course, Psychology and Science of Education Student Day. What else? We have a lot of other activities to develop learning skills and to deepen fundamental knowledge for understanding the first year subject matters. And you can see here in this image our students working and backing the books for the event Blind Date with a Book. Okay, but Of course, this project is not about only extracurricular activities. We offer a lot of tutoring and other activities to really understand better the subject that are considered more difficult. And now we are in the second year of implementing this project, and I wanted just to read you some of their comments about this project. So I will say like this, just a few of them, and I will not read all of them. Although it's hard to believe, staying in school longer really does help you perform better. Another one is, if I were to recommend this project to other colleagues, I would first of all tell them to participate with great confidence, because they will have very useful and interesting learning activities, support and help from teachers, a lot of extra explanation, and last but not the least, new interaction and experiences. And I want to read you the last one. If you would like to benefit from the workshops and receive additional materials for some exams considered more difficult, don't hesitate and sign up to Rose. At the end, you will be amazed at how much your cognitive and social skills have improved in just 1 year. This is, let's say, kind of another arrangement that lasts more and is not focusing only on the social skills, also for the cognitive. But what I like most, and this is why I wanted to cite this opinion, is they understand that their social skills is also improved. We are not focusing only on the cognitive matter as well. So last year results are like this. 81 students participated, and please be aware that 71 of them were in at-risk category, which is wonderful. So this, if I think better, I think next year we will have some data for a longitudinal study, and the researcher within us is very happy about this. But anyway, back to disability. We have, I told you, some challenges here, because very rarely have we had students with disabilities come to us for support. I personally know of only 8 cases where we have been able to intervene because they asked us for this. They were with motor, visual, hearing disabilities, dyslexia, and of course, high functional autism. So usually it's a common behavior to hide as much as you can these challenges you face, maybe because of shame, maybe because of social stigma, I don't know. Therefore, we do a lot of public awareness campaign within the university to sensitize on this issue. And we discover that sometimes it's easier to interact with one closer to you, and which is why we have a team of volunteers here, and are my volunteers, and I'm deeply, let's say, engaged in this relationship with my students volunteer, and I put also the names because I have their agreement, because I'm the tutor for this year. In our faculties, when a new group of students is formed in the first year, we designate a teacher that will become the mentor of that group. And it's very easy, not that they can't speak with all teachers, but from time to time they need to feel comfortable with a teacher that advises them. So I select them from my team. Why? Because as you can see here, for example, they learn extra things that can help us in the center. For example, Michael here, you see here, Lukács Christian Michael, he is a volunteer in this app, Be My Eyes. And I want to show you a little bit what it's about in this one, and after that, tell you more. And I will load the video for this. Just one moment, please. So you have seen here. So if we have a request from students with visual impairment, we encourage them to use this app and connect with one of our volunteers. And of course, why not another volunteer from another organization? Everything is possible. But it's quite an, let's say, an useful app. And of course, this is why I was telling you that this team I'm using with me in counseling students with disabilities, because my team of students are volunteer therapists for people with disabilities within the autism spectrum. They have learned and are still learning to work with children with profound levels of impairment on the autism spectrum. And in terms of working with high functional adults with autism, they apply what I teach them. I mentor them because I have attended some specific courses organized by institutions with experience in this field. And yes, of course, I'm just one, and I need help for the requests. What else have been implemented? As you see here, accompaniment and note-taking. The service usually take place on the university premises, that for the purposes of participating in teacher activities, that and this is normally provided by students volunteer. Also, we have alternative, or in the absence of human resources, we have pen drives that will also be used as a tool to facilitate note-taking during university lectures. These services have been piloted in the Faculty of Psychology and Science of Education for a visually impaired student before the technology offered us a lot of much more reachable and free resources. What else we are doing? We are offering specialized tutoring in order to promote the right to study of students with disabilities, it was considered appropriate to set up specific tutoring initiatives aimed primarily at facilitating the initial phase of the academic pathway. And of course, academic support activities were carried out by specialized tutors, professional pedagogues, and we intend to use also specialized social workers. I wanted to say what we did last year because we anticipated some different problems and we addressed it. And of course, we are thinking in projects, as I told you before. And Liliana Rogoza, the vice rector that opened and welcomed our meeting in the last day, in the first day, initiated this project. And of course, involved a lot of teachers from different faculties. The project is called Equal Opportunities in Diversity. So there is, what was the main idea is that there is no point in addressing students' needs if we don't raise awareness and train teachers and administrative staff as well. And in this project, we did this. So the project produced materials for teachers and administrative staff. Several, as I told you, several university professors with concerns in the area of disability were involved and created some guidelines on the following topics. Psychopedagogical profile for people with disabilities. Why? Because there are a lot of teachers who are willing to help students with disabilities, but they are saying something like this: okay, I want to do something, I really want to help, but how do I approach this subject? I really do not know, because until now I had only typical students. So we created this kind of guide. Also, another guide was best practices in communicating with students with disabilities. Electronic communication with students with disabilities. Another one was social inclusion of people with disabilities. Useful pedagogical methods in interacting with people with disabilities. And of course, guidelines for the development of online learning materials for students with hearing and low vision impairment. So you see, we try to cover a large area. But about assistive technologies, which is a very important part, I can say that there is an intense concern in this area. Some of them, you can see it on the slide. Also, when we think about creating accessible text-based resources, we have in mind these elements. And we started from the standards developed by the World Wide Web Consortium. And of course, I think and also we, in this presentation, and I can provide you later, we insert some links with comprehensive tutorials on how to have an introduction in web accessibility, or how to make an Word document accessible. But I think now is the moment when it would be best for me to invite my dear colleague, lecturer Anca Vasilescu from the Faculty of Mathematics and Informatics. I confess that is a real pleasure for me to work with Anca, not only for her visionary spirit, but also for her qualities as a person and her hard work. Anca, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. After this introduction, I will be, I will try to be on top. Yes, this subject is maybe more common for you, but for us as computer scientists is not at all a common thing. So, considering my background specifically in this area, it was a fascinating world I've discovered during the previous project, and now for this discussion. I have a short presentation, but we may talk about a few things about this on this slide. No, then I think it's better to take my my presentation just to be easier. I am presenter now, and I could share my screen. I think it's better to do this. Okay. First of all, we have here the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. It's a normative, okay? The formula already prepared for web development in general. So this link is connected with a very short presentation for this topic. So at a glance means as usual to focus on this four. Maybe it's better to okay, it's about these four principles about the topic, and this web content accessibility guidelines covers these four main topics: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Maybe you know the details, but we are interested in software development and web development in special cases to follow these topics, considering the main lines as well. Or text alternatives is one of the most important type of content which facilitates the people with disabilities, let's say in general, because any software you use for translating or transforming the content appropriately with your disability, any software like this is ready to read and not necessarily ready to interpret the image and the content elsewhere, the text content. So it's very important that any image has to have in behind specific text for explain it, for explain that image. Okay, so that is a text alternative, and any modern software, let's say, including Google Docs or Office 365 is ready to accept this alternative text just to support the low vision problems of people and the students in general. Okay, all these topics mentioned in these guidelines are followed in other areas. So not specifically for web development, but for non-web ICT. So we may follow these recommendations in all of our products, let's say, in this general framework of information and communication technology. It's starting to be a very focused, let's say, topic in our thesis with students, because students have to understand the importance of these topics, and to prepare appropriately the thesis ready to be used in real life, in real internet, let's say. Another important guide, okay, for this framework is about what European Union is concerned about in this direction. So we have selected for this discussion this European Accessibility Act, established by European Union, I say again, and I will invite you now to watch this video. It's a very short, less than 2 minutes, but I think it's very useful now. But you may help me, please help me to provide feedback if everything is okay with this video. No sound, I think.
No
Am
sound.
I right? No sound. Could you take the link, Dana, please, and upload it on or I'll do it in just a minute.
Okay.
Let's stop it now here. Take the link from the. No. Is it better now?
We don't have the sound.
Is
it on YouTube, this one?
Yes.
Because on YouTube.
No, it's not on YouTube. No, we have a code here, but it's not. No, I suspected we have problems with this because it's not on YouTube.
But maybe if we can put the link on chat and everybody can watch it later, if you agree.
Yes, of course. Sorry for this. It's about connecting two streams in the same one. My stream with you and the stream from the. No, I shared all my streams, so I don't think it's a problem of sharing the sound, but maybe, I don't know. So what I wanted to underline is that European Union has its own act like this, not necessarily to follow the that WCAG guideline, especially written, let's say, for USA. Out of almost 100 of topics in this directive, I have selected this topic 41 about ebook files, a very modern, let's say, manner of presenting the content. We use this kind of files in our projects, both in the previous one presented by Dana, and you'll see in a few moments during her presentation some ideas about our another project we are developing on. And we use this ebook or flip books just to come near to different kind of students, different kinds of people, in order to facilitate them the accessibility for the content. And we, of course, we use the specific softwares to transform the simple PDF in a flip book. And of course, there are free softwares like this. And we could buy some, buy licenses for these softwares in our projects. During this pandemic time, we used to use two platforms in Romania, specifically for the high schools and the pre-university, pre-academic schools. We use in Romania this Google Classroom, and for our university we are keen and we used with very good results the Moodle platform as one of the most important LMS support in this time. So, considering this Google Classroom, we could mention that this platform has the qualification to be compliant with the WCAG guidelines, and the accreditation is mentioned on July 2017, so very recently, and the specific softwares involved in this qualification and this evaluation are mentioned here. This is, I think, these softwares are usually used in this evaluation, and you may see the desktop browsers, the most important one used now in 2021, let's say, and the Google Classroom is appropriate as accessibility conformance with all these browsers. upon our point of view, the most important conclusion about Moodle and a very good strong point, let's say, for considering Moodle in this discussion is about this November 2021, the date of the final report, which established the accessibility conformance of Moodle with WCAG. So it's an invitation for using Moodle in this framework of counseling and use specific platforms for people with vision or hearing problems. This accreditation for Moodle is at level AA, meaning not very low, not very high, but very appropriate for mass education, for a comprehensive university as our university is. Okay, again, another video connected with a PDF text about accessibility in Moodle. I will give you again the link, but this is on YouTube, and maybe we could be luckier.
I think Anka is coming back.
I'm back, yes, sorry.
I made you presenter.
Yeah, share external video, just a moment. Is it good? Is it okay? If you agree, I'd suggest you to interrupt the video right now, because we had a few examples of Moodle support for this topic, and Dana will continue with the presentation. Thank you very much for this. And I'm sure I'm very open to discuss about things or to prove and give more examples on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Anka, very much. Thank you. So what's next? I wanted to show you. Let's just one moment. Okay, Anka, please help me. Just show us a little bit that project, the glove project, because
okay,
it's only that one, please.
Okay, it's a project of out of my bachelor thesis, and it's you may start it from you only have the image there, right, Dana?
Yes, I just put an image.
I will
only that one, nothing else.
Yes,
because it's wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's just a support or a step forward, the previous comment about how to use a web page without keyboard and mouse support. So we have here the video where an external glove, let's say, but glove is about gesture language oriented virtual environment. That's the trick my student used for this glove name. So we have glove ready to establish the connection between desktop and the content of the desktop and the human being without mouse and or keyboard. So only the gestures from the glove operates and establishes the connection with the application. Okay, let's. It's a very short video, but I hope you will see the gestures. Following the glove, the mouse trigger is operating on the screen and interacts with the operating system and the applications easily. That's all now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was finding it to be very interesting because a lot of people with disabilities will definitely need. So without touching the keyboard, without touching the screen, you can move things and work with that glove, let's say.
It's a lot of mathematics behind this thesis, and we are preparing a research paper now on this topic with this team. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Am eu o întrebare.
Yes, Diana has a question.
Este cu acționare vocală sau care e modalitatea de... N-am fost atentă.
No, there are no vocal connections. It's only gestures. That glove consists of a lot of sensors which measures the distance and the position of the glove instead or in front of the desktop. So without the wires and the lines for connecting the mouse and the keyboard with the desktop, this glows establishes the connections with using these sensors. It's about proximity sensors, sound sensors, and all of these. But especially on the position, the gloves consider the position of the sensors in front of the desktop.
Dar sunt și persoane care nu pot să facă nici măcar mișcarea asta, știi? De-aia mă interesa
I agree. Without for the more difficult disabilities, we could prepare another kind of softwares, but this one is just if you don't fix and operate exactly a key from the keyboard, let's say, okay, or you may move your hand, but not necessarily very precisely for this application.
Aștept cu viu interes și partea vocală.
Okay, if you are interested in having a vocal application, we may collaborate deeply for this. But there are always softwares for reading and for transforming the written text into a sound text, into a vocal text. There are a lot of only Google has and Microsoft, both of them have already free plugins for this. But we will discuss and we will collaborate for sure, Daciana. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I told you, Anca, it's an interesting topic. Thank you that you presented it.
I'm very sorry the student is not here because he could be very, very proud on that, but I will send him the feedback.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll take my print screen. Please once thank you to take a print screen for my portfolio. Thank you.
Okay, next. I will not, I will, how would you say, overcome this stage. And I wanted to say what we want to do next to our center in this specific matter. So we try to implement this area to do some diversity management. This means extending, not talking only about disabilities, but other issues as well. And WANA, we will start to develop this part. We want also an inclusion officer at the University, Transilvania University of Brașov, and we have some experience how to be this person. Service point for accessibility inquiries. We want to develop this part of loan of media materials and technology, support opportunities for students, from students to students. So we had this piloting with the students I'm in charge, but we want to get involved more because they want to help their student, their colleagues, and for sure it's going to be much easier to reach that social inclusion that we want. Another one, we want to have individual design of study programs taking into account the personal situation, but we started already. This one is considered to be almost done. And support for barrier-free design of classroom and buildings. We did with didactics materials, and now we try to, and we started also. We have some buildings from our university that already have this barrier-free design, but not all of them. And especially we encountered problems because they are historical buildings. But we are still looking for solution. And don't forget that we have faculty of construction in our university as well. So we are going to ask them for help here. And because so let me see. We have found that you are interested in some specific psychological tools, and I'll start with the newest one and continuing the list with the ones that we've already been using for a few years. I don't think we have enough time to describe each of the tests individually, but I'm sure that you've heard of this test and probably already use some of them in your daily work. Let's see what we have here. Okay, what is the newest? The acquisition of battery tests for psychological assessment of adults, mental health assessment, staff assessment, recruitment and selection of personnel, and of course career and career guidance. This is the CAS in Romania ++ evaluation system that contains more than 50 psychological tests adapted and calibrated to the Romanian population, grouped in 5 main categories: cognitive, non-cognitive, personality and attitudes, emotion and behaviors, interests and values. And some tests can only be complied in computerized form. We are going to answer or to put the version that we want there, and they are sent to Test Central. As you remember, in the first day, our dean told us about this organization. We have 2 organization Test Central, and the other one, D&D, I think it is, that deals with all the tests, psychological tests that are licensed and ready to use for Romanian population. And some of them are paper format. Okay, so what we already used, we were very proud to have this working memory battery made by our colleague, Professor Clinciu, but we have self-directed research, intelligence structure, as you can see here, is in German, it's a German test, multidimensional aptitude battery, cognitive aptitude psychological test battery, ready for school, child symptom assessment questionnaire, adolescent symptom assessment questionnaire, child assessment, another 4. We have a lot of IQ test, Wechsler, Raven, as you can see here. We have others that focus more on behavior assessment scale for children, BASC, we say. We have mini mental states examination. What else? Program, the Self Kit. This is a program for development of social emotional skills in children. It's not only about testing, but you have also the whole program and is dealing with a lot of therapeutical stories. And we have now peer, of course, Jason vocational interest survey, learning style inventory. What else? You see here, I try to couple them in some categories. We have clinical skills and personality tests, achievement motivation inventory, state trait anxiety inventory, tree test, family test, person test, multidimensional anxiety test scale for children, and so on, quality of life inventory. We have a child depression inventory, We have bags. I'm sure that you are using two bag depression inventory, a DECAS personality inventory, NEO inventory revised, FFF, FEE, Vienna test, of course. We use also Big 5. I forgot to write it here. Okay, what else we are doing, for example, for skills and personality, Bender Gestalt, B53, which is an IQ test, domino and domino with two variants, also IQ test, Ray memory test, reversal 16PF made by Cattell, and of course self-esteem questionnaire, a lot of others from anxiety, and of course children perception test and self-efficacy as well, locus of control, ISENC, personality inventory, social self-esteem, Burns depression inventory, Burns anxiety inventory. This is for the personality, and of course we have BASCO, which is specifically for those with some disability issues, let's say, adaptive behavior assessment system, positive and negative syndrome scale, Benton visual retention test, student stress inventory. You see a lot of them that are used in our everyday routine, let's say. What else should I say now? Okay, our students have asked us for guidance in a specific area of interest. So what did we do? A new institutional project. It is in full swing. Florin and Anka are also a member of this project, and some of others that are not here today, but you heard them a few days before. And all of these teachers that are involved in this project are involved in the activities of the counseling center, both at the faculty and the central level. What is this project about? Personalized strategies for counseling and career orientation at the Transilvania University. What exactly have we done so far? Are these guides or guidelines? So we, after an needs analysis, we build or invent these guides. I don't know how to say it right now. They are dealing with this aspect to identify the strategies for effective and efficient communication for students, to develop students' communication ability through vlogging. We made a guide for self-marketing and self-branding. Another one with short legislative guide for students. Another one talking about cyberbullying. Another one talking about burnout syndrome. Another one talking about healthy lifestyle during COVID pandemic. Another one is dealing, of course, with learning, because anyway, we are only an academic institution and we want our students to succeed. And another one about time management. The one that is dealing with effective and efficient communication for students has this main theme, main characteristics of the communication process, adapting strategies, how to listen, and how to, and the oral communication skills as well. And the one that is dealing with vlogging is dealing with analyzing of the influence of vloggers on the behavior of young people. Is focusing also on developing students' communication skills through for vlogging and some rules for making the vlog, and of course the opportunities and threats for education when it's about this one. Self-marketing and self-branding is dealing with this question: are you ready to change your future? How you ever wonder who you are? Have you ever wondered who you are? The role of marketing and personal branding, and of course, creating your own. The short legislative guide for students is not only about the rights and also about the obligation as students, and they definitely need, because not all of them read the legislative part and they are not all aware of what they can or what they cannot do. The cyberbullying is talking about violence and aggression, especially in virtual environment, the psychological profile of aggressive behavior, and of course some triggers and the consequences of virtual aggression. What else? The burnout syndrome is explained very clearly in this guide as well. And the healthy lifestyle during COVID, because we definitely need this one, is made by our colleagues from medicine faculty. And time management is made by me and Juana. It's more not only this one, not only guidance or the formal counseling, but also it's a more philosophical approach. And if Anka can help me. Anka, you said before, and I know for sure that you put on our platform those clips and that interesting way of seeing the books, that you can have the feeling that you are in front of a book, even if it's electronic one.
Yeah, just a moment. I will share my screen immediately.
What I want to say until Anka, but I think I have to give you the right, sorry.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
Until Anka will find this is what I wanted to say, that we have produced this kind in two formats, animated and written. And Anka and a colleague of ours worked hard to translate these writing guides into very attractive formats for students.
Okay, are you so kind to skip on your presentation on the next slide, just to see the entire part of the general view for this project, and I will there. Okay. Thank you very much. You'll see my screen in a few seconds. And this is, I will change in English. Okay, this is our e-learning platform, e-learning.unitbv.ro. And our vice rector is the manager of this project, financial development and in investment. So we have here the two kinds of communication with students. The questionnaire for evaluating the starting content of this guides, of these 9 guides we prepared in this project, and corresponding with our faculties directly involved in this project, we defined the specific topics or units on this e-learning course, and each faculty has been invited to evaluate 2 or 3 guides in the framework of this evaluation level or evaluation stage of the project. We prepared for each of the guides 3 forms of presentation. The first one is the PDF standard content. You will see the content for the first one in a minute. Okay, around 30 pages for this guideline, for each guide, and the content is basically text, images, and hyperlinks in order to connect this guide with references or important external topics. The second form is based on a flip book. We used for this start a flip book online framework or platform. So we have here the flip book.
Until it's loading, Anka, and after that, can you show the video for time management, please, after that?
Yes, of course. Do you know which faculty has to be involved had to be involved?
Yes.
This one,
PCA.
right?
Yes. But
this
the MP4 guide after that. Or this one, yes, of course, management. How do you want?
It's about time management, and we have here the specific presentation like a flip book with sound. I suspect I'd like to hear the sound. And what was a very important and useful feature of this software I used to was transforming automatically the text as hyperlinks from the starting PDF to this flip book. Okay, all the links prepared for the basic PDF we have here in a flip book. And do you want to underline some to highlight some specific content here, Dana?
No, because everybody's tired and I still have something more to show. But maybe if we see a little bit the short movie that
yes, and the third form is an MP4 created with Doodly. We paid for this software in this project, and it's very easy to use, and the final movie is challenging and motivating.
Yeah, it's this movie. It's an invitation to read the guide if you need more, or it's, let's say, a summary of that guide.
Yeah.
But I think we don't have the sound. Don't worry.
Oh, again. Sorry. Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's wonderful. Wonderful anyway. Thank you so much, Anka. Thank you for
Thank you too. Thank you.
Okay, so we set out to answer some possible questions that students may have during the period we are going through, which is not an easy one, full of restriction, you see, and they are welcomed. As you can see in these images, they were already tested even in face-to-face situation. They had some, I think on career days, they had the opportunity to see them, and the feedback we received from students are encouraging. But talking about feedback, of course, as I remember, I know that another concern of some of our colleagues from Georgia was related to the form that we use to get feedback from our students, especially in our center. And I will show you next some of the form that we use and those we have used so far, but which are currently in the process of being upgraded. So, as you can see here, this is a form that we use, and students are writing this in this kind of form, and they can send it after the individual counseling. There are some data about the person, that student, and of course he has to say how much on a scale from 1 to 5, if that experience, the individual counseling, was satisfying or no. And this one, for example, represents the most positive activity in which I have participated for a long time. The second one, give me a lot of direction with my needs. The third one represents, I learn a lot about myself and I'm ready to make some changes. And at 4, I did not get as much as I had hoped. And the 5 one is, the meeting was a waste of time. Of course, there is another item, how much has counseling helped you? And the scale is reversed here. Another question is, do you think you were understood by the counselor? Of course, another one is, have you gained any skills in the area in need? And he has to just click agree, disagree, or don't know. And of course, there is room for a subjective item with the comments and other things that we didn't thought about. And he can be as friendly as he can here. Another feedback that looks like the first one, but is referring to the small group activities. It's also from students to psychologists. So what is here interesting is what activity did you participate in? What did you enjoy most? What you didn't like? What suggestion do you have for future activities? And the scale and the item from the first activity as you saw it before. What else? We have here, let's say, the form that we use for activity register, but as you can see has not the logo from our faculty, so it is still under approval, this one, and we have to change it a little bit. What else? Here we have the individual counseling form that is completed by the counselor, and it contains data about beneficiary, about counseling objectives, about psychological assessment, about observation on the conduct of the assessment, planning and conduct the counseling session that are going to follow. Okay, and in the next slide, you have here some kind of forms that we use and contain data of those benefiting from small group activities, because anyway, we have to report a lot of things that we've done. So I'm thanking you so much. Thank you that you resisted. I know it was long, but we changed it a little bit to answer specifically to your question and to show you what is new in our area. Thank you so much, and I'm how do you say, eager to answer your question if you have. Or maybe you want to break, and after the break we can start the session, because I know I gave you a lot. Do you need a short break now? And we can talk about what you are interested to have time. What do you think? Thank you. Thank you for your feedbacks. I think a short break, it will be wonderful. No, Florin? Okay.
Yes, I'm prepared with the music that the link Anka sent me before.
Thank you.
5 minutes break, not very long.
Yes, 5 minutes, it's enough.
And then going to the closing session, yes?
Yes.
Just give me the right.
Oh, sorry. Now I promote you to moderator, and I make you presenter as well. It's okay?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
So you can put only the link. You can upload another link. It's going to the first one every time. That's strange, because I was trying to take that one, the link you sent me. Let's try again. I have a solution. Let's see if it's working. Sorry, Florin, it's not working.
So we were in the melancholic mood. So
Yes, and
regarding
Georgia
the yesterday presentation. So let's take some steps. Let's
yes.
have some a little walk inside Brașov.
Yes, and especially we are very proud of Gheorghe Zamfir, which is a Romanian singer, and I think it's also a composer, and is well known all over the world. But anyway, I want to thank especially to Florin, because for the next moment, he, together with some students from digital media, they prepared us a nice surprise. And keep in mind that I'm also watching in premiere this video, even if I'm an actor in this one, and I will share to you with you in one moment. Just one moment, please. Let's hope it's working.
So idea came exactly 1 week ago, and Friday it was.
It's not available. Can you change a little bit what you put there?
No. The first seconds are black, and then just play it.
Let's see. No, I don't think I can play it. I will try it here again. Okay.
Okay. In this case, I will share it.
I think it's private. I think it's private, and this is why.
Yes,
I will make you presenter, and please try again. It's private. It has to be unlisted.
Can you see it? Because I can see. Oh, technical problems.
Yes, I think it's private, not unlisted. You have to put it unlisted. Can you change the destination? Unlisted.
I will change it. I will change the setting.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you will ask some question if there.
Yes, of course. I will give you time to change the settings. And please, if you have question about our center, I don't know, about anything you want, if we can provide any more or insight of what we are doing. Yes, Baya wrote us that she hopes or he hopes to visit us in the future, and really, 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 it's a good opportunity. We really want you to come. No, we are not the best, for sure, as Monica, our head of the Institute, Research and Development Institute, told us, but we are definitely trying to be as close as possible from those who are the best. I think Ketevan is writing. Wonderful. About test adaptation and licenses, we don't have time to do this because we do a lot of other things. This is why we are working very closely with those two organizations that we told you about. Test Central is one of them. Why? Because it's a goddamn, let's say, it's a very, very tireful and long work, and a lot of people are involved in the adaptation and license the test. So we prefer to take from them and use them and pay for them for those license. And it's easier like this because to adapt and really make a comprehensive test for the whole Romanian population, you need you need a lot of subjects, because Romania has 20 million people. No, Anka, am I right or not? We are 20 million Romanians or not? So to make the representative study population, it's quite difficult. So they hire people. They are doing the statistical test. They are adapting all the time those tests, and they provide us in exchange of a fee, of course. We are not going. Yes, there are psychologists that they pay for themselves or in their organization, but for us, the university is paying. We are making a list. We are choosing the tests that we need. We are very close to those from Test Central, and of course, as you've so almost 20 million. We are trying to ask them if we want a specific area. So we are not involved in this one because we don't have enough people, specialized people. You're welcome. You're welcome. Get a one.
Okay, I changed the settings. I changed.
Okay. So I will make you presenter, Florin. Now you are the presenter.
Yurkasu partnere bukhomar dai galet.
Okay, so this was the tour. Unfortunately, without only with sights and sounds. You have to come here to use the other senses. So the smell, the taste, and even the texture of Brașov.
But you have just opened all the channels for our guests, for tasting and for smelling, and for us too.
Yes,
It's not fair this hour of the in the day, but let's
I'm very
do
close
the
to
best.
all these places because Faculty of Sociology and Communication, it's here in the old city. I'm now here in the office, so you can come here.
Mm.
Thank you, and hope to come here very soon.
Thank you so much, Florine. If you weren't for you and your digital media students, we didn't have this surprise. Thank you a lot. And I think you have a lot of experience in doing this. And really, for me, it was a wonderful experience because I had so much fun. And I'm glad that you like it too.
I do not have enough time because all the video that you saw was without any script. So just was like a tour that normally maybe we've done with you. If you were here, was almost in that places, but of course for many hours, for staying for a coffee. At least half an hour, staying in the evening for a beer, a couple of hours, and so on. And even near the Tipografia, where is the beer and tea, it's a very good place for wines. I think they have even Georgian wines. So I will ask them if they have Georgian wines, because I know that Georgian wines are very very good, very tasty and flavored.
Yeah, but it's not a problem. Maybe the pandemic will pass and we still have some ACs in our pockets because we have some castle nearby Brașov. So we have a lot of other places, and you didn't see Dracula's castle. So we still have a lot of places to take you on.
But Dana, as the main organizer of this meeting, you will have the easier job next time. You already have the timeline and timetable for the next visit, the next meeting. Florine pointed the main places to visit, and you may add only the external Brașov, okay, around the city places to visit.
Correct. So
thank you, dear Daniela. Florine, colleagues, partners, friends, thank you for the beautiful meeting, for the interesting and useful information. I hope that all this will be very important for our partners from Georgian University. This will also help the work of the Students' Psychological Center. Thanks again for the well-organized meeting before the meeting in Romania and Georgia. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Indira, for these kind words. Thank you so much. And if there is anything else that is necessary, some different models or forms and so on, just let us know, because we are available and interested in provide everything is necessary.
Thank you.
So it's like in a face-to-face meeting, we arrive to the end and we don't want to separate. We don't want it to be ended. I really enjoyed these days. Thank you so much for participating. But I think now is the time to go back to our regular things if somebody wants to say anything more, I don't mind, because we'll stay here.
And keep an eye on our airport plan, because you will buy tickets directly to Brașov near future.
See you in Georgia.
But if not, if you can come earlier, it's 2 hours and a half, depending of the hour. If you come on the weekend and during the day, it could take even 4 hours from the Bucharest airport. But normally during the week and at the not the peak hour, the rush hours, they are about 2.5 hours by car.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, Florin? Do you want to add something?
No, just a question, because you know all this administrative part. Where is the next the next meeting? Because we were in Poland. Unfortunately, again was online 1 month ago. Now here, and what is the next step of the project? What you have to? The next milestone of the project.
I think the next step is Christmas. After that, we'll see what is next.
No, in the project,
Yes,
of course,
yes.
for the next year, of course.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you. It's finished.
So for this year, we finished everything, and we see after Christmas what is next, the next steps. Okay. So thank you so much. I will close the meeting with my heart so small, because I don't want to be a part of you. But anyway, we have to split and just take care of you and be healthy. And let's hope that our next meeting, it will be in face-to-face format. And
thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye. And Indira, I will send you also the recording. I sent you for the first day, and these 2 days it will come in a few moments. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Wish you well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.